Hello everyone and welcome back to the Starry Mustache channel. If you saw the thumbnail and title, which you would have because you clicked on the video, you'll know that in this video we'll be ranking every single main game Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle boss face. And please bear in mind this is only my personal opinion on all the bosses in the game. If you have a different opinion to mine, I'd be happy to know what it is in the comments. In this ranking I've decided to put Rabbid at 10th place. After all, he's the first ever boss you fight in the entire game, just to teach you the basics of how they all work. He doesn't have much attacks, and yeah, he's just not all too much of a special boss. He only has one phase, which I'll let slide because he's a mini boss, and all the mini bosses only have one phase in the game. But that doesn't necessarily mean I hate the boss fight, I just think he's one of the more weaker ones in the whole lineup of all 10. In 9th place, we have the second mid-boss in the entire game, Blizzy and Sandy. Now, Blizzy and Sandy are pretty interesting because it's a duo boss. Blizzy has the ice effect, and Sandy has the fire effect. And on a fresh save file, when you have no upgrades and some of the worst weapons in the entire game and you're fighting them, I'll admit they were pretty bloody challenging. Especially on your first attempt, because the two of them and there's no bosses prior to them, where there's two bosses on the same battlefield at once. Not to mention the multiple Sherbert supporters littered across the battlefield, which, like I said previously, at that point you have zero upgrades, assuming you haven't been grinding battles. So then it's not even like you can one-tap them, they just keep on healing and healing and healing if you focus on Blizzy and Sandy, and then that could completely ruin your whole attempt at the boss. And even then, most of the cover on this battlefield is only a 50-50 shot chance, which means in most cases you don't even have 100% cover. So when you have Blizzy and Sandy using the grenades and then you have the supporters using their grenades, it can make you run a living nightmare. But once you replay the boss after getting all your upgrades, beating the game, getting all the best weapons, you can easily finish them off within 2 turns. And 10th place goes to Rabbid Kong. Now, Rabbid Kong's got a pretty interesting gimmick in his fight, the bananas. And what you have to do to these bananas is you've got to reach a button with a banana on it to knock down those bananas so that he's vulnerable, and then you can actually deal damage to them. But right when you think, oh, I'm in the middle of the battlefield, it's going to be dead easy to reach there, he does a shockwave attack that deals 10 damage on top of bounce damage, sending you flying all the way back to the very back of the battlefield. And to make matters worse for the player, he has 3 phases and support. In phase 1 he has 3 garden ziggies blocking the way. Then in the second phase, followed up by 2 garden hoppers. Then he has a single garden smasher in his third phase. So gameplay wise, this is one of the first bosses where you've got to play a bit more strategic than you usually would have prior to this fight. And I gotta say, the battlefield in this fight looks bloody amazing. I mean, you're literally on some giant tower made of just toy blocks with a sort of sunset looking sky sort of lighting up the whole arena. And the theme song that plays through the whole battle just fits in perfectly, because it's got sort of deeper trombone notes that just sort of give off that feeling that he's just dead stupid, which he is. But like with most other early game bosses, you can defeat him pretty quickly and easily once you revisit it with all upgrades and new weapons. But on first playthroughs, he can be a bit of a struggle to put up with, because if you don't put 2 and 2 together and realise the banana buttons is to make him vulnerable, then you'll just end up getting pummeled by him and all his minions. Seventh place goes to Calavera. Oh, I see, Calavera is sort of like a repeat of Blizzy and Sandy, but if it was only Sandy and he had 2 moves instead of 1 and no special abilities on top of that. But Calavera, for only having 1 phase, can be pretty difficult on your first playthrough. Even then, on any playthrough, if you don't have any decent enough upgrades, you can wipe it out pretty quickly. Because throughout the fight, I think it's like a total of 4 peekaboos and 4 smashers can spawn in. And if none of your characters have in their main weapons the honey effect or in the secondary weapons the honey effect, you are done for in this battle. Because the peekaboos can't teleport under the honey effect, and the smashers just can't move for a turn with the honey effect. And almost anywhere where there is even a slight bit of cover, there's most likely an explosive ice block right next to it. But the actual character design of Calavera and Spooky Trails as a whole just perfectly fits the whole Halloween feel the whole world's trying to go for. And plus, after beating him, you unlock arguably one of the best characters in the entire game, Rabbids Yoshi. Sixth place on the ranking goes to Icicle Golem. Now, for being this early in the game, Icicle Golem can be a proper struggle. I mean, he has 4 phases, but the 4th one's literally just his head and he's one tap, so it's not really too bad. He's basically an upgraded and absolutely enormous version of a booklet, and since he is just like the finishing boss of this entire world themed around snow and desert, specifically on the snowy side, of course he's going to have frost damage as well. And on top of all that, throughout the fight he has Sherbet Smashers, Sherbet Bucklers and Sherbet Supporters. And if you thought that was bad enough, no, it gets worse. Whoever's in the 3rd slot of your party always gets replaced by Peach. And you think that wouldn't be so bad, and you'd in some cases be right, because it more depends on who you have in the 3rd slot and if their skill tree's maxed out or anything like that. And similar to the last boss we talked about, Calavera, most of the battlefield, wherever there's cover, you can expect a frost block right by it. Fifth place goes to Wario and Waluigi. Now these two are another duo boss, but weirdly enough play more similar to Calavera than Blizzy and Sandy, because in this fight Wario possesses the same attack that Rabbids Yoshi has in the Calavera fight, which is why, like in this gameplay here, it's probably a better choice to have either Yoshi or Rabbids Yoshi on your party in this fight. And Waluigi just acts as basically a lava smasher but with 200 more HP. 4th place goes to Wario and Waluigi again, but in the rematch with Lava Queen included in it. Yeah, I just didn't really feel like I needed to put a big transition in between both of them, because it's basically the same fight just with one added boss. But I'll give credit where credit's due, and Lava Queen is actually an insane addition to the fight. So you remember those enemies most of you probably absolutely despise, the Lava Valkyries? Yeah, she's an upgraded version of them. Not to mention the fact she has 1000 HP, and so does Waluigi. Wario has 800. And on top of all of that, you gotta put up with all the strongest enemies from Lava Pit other than Lava Peekaboos. This fight is torture. In 3rd place, I've decided to put the Phantom. I swear to God, every single cutscene leading up to the fight and the fight itself is just absolute cinema. The whole arena and the fact he's a ghost rabbit and an opera singer just fits the Halloween theme of Spooky Trails even more. I'd even go as far as to say he does it better than Calavera did. And similar to Rabbid Kong early on in the video, Phantom actually has a vulnerability gimmick, but instead of getting rid of the bananas like in Rabbid Kong, you've got to destroy all the batteries for the spotlight. Quite literally any and all attacks you throw at him when he's non-vulnerable will just go flying right through. So as soon as you figure out that's what his gimmick is, he's nowhere near as difficult. But he has 3 phases, and each time more and more enemies spawn with the likes of Spooky Valkyries and Spooky Smashers and Spooky Bucklers. Second place goes to Mecha Jr. This is just one of the best battlefields of all time in just any game ever. I mean, you're literally under some giant pit of lava with just little puzzle pieces all over the floor, and it just gets even better boss mechanics wise. So Bowser Jr. in this fight basically works like just an extremely buffed Smasher with Mega Dragon Bowser levels of HP and Luigi's robot ability. Enemy wise, it's pretty similar to Mega Dragon Bowser because you've got Lava Valkyries, Lava Bucklers and Lava Smashers. But it's only in the second phase where the Bucklers and Smashers actually spawn. Mega Dragon Bowser takes first place in this ranking. I mean, come on, who else did you expect to get first place here? This is just the best boss in any RPG I've ever played. So here's why he's ranked this high. Mega Dragon Bowser has the perfect difficulty spike for the final boss. He has a grand total of 3 phases and summons loads of enemies throughout it, and just a bombard of lava coming down from the sky. In the second phase he starts using Mario's hero sight and the shield, but the shield's pretty easy to break through, but his hero sight is lethal if you haven't upgraded your characters enough or took the extra health at the start. Throughout the third phase those same attacks keep on going in a sort of endless cycle till you kill him. Throughout all 3 phases he can summon lava Valkyries, lava smashers and lava bucklers. And for some reason he just always targets Mario. I don't know why, but on every single playthrough I've had of the entire game, doesn't matter if he's not the one with the best skill tree or anything like that, he always targets him. And that, everyone, was my Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle all bosses ranking. Thank you so much for watching all the way, it really helps out the channel. If you enjoyed what you watched, please consider liking and subscribing, and maybe even leave a comment down in the comment section. Helps out the channel and the video a lot. And yeah, expect more uploads soon, and I'll see you all in the next one.